Hello everyone, my name is Shubham Pingle. I'm a second year undergraduate student at IIT Kharagpur. I'm a student member at Branding and Relations Cell. Today we have with us Miss Sruthi Mahalakshmi. Sruthi, please briefly introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Shubham. Hi, I'm Shruti Mahalakshmi. I'm a final year undergraduate student at the Department of Agricultural and Food Engineering, enrolled in its dual degree course. I'm a boarder of Mother Teresa Hall of Residence, and I'm from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
So, Sruthi, how was your overall experience of the IIT life?
Hmm. I really enjoyed my time at IIT Kharagpur, but if I were to describe my experience in two words, one would be exciting and two would be enriching. Exciting in the sense every day you wake up, it is something that's exciting because IIT Kharagpur presents to you a lot of new opportunities. It um, lets you create a lot of memories, and it honestly offers like a variety of experiences to you that no other place ever would. And if I were to look back at my journey, it was very exciting for me at each and every step. And altogether, at the end, if I were to reflect on it, it was a very enriching experience. So yeah, that is how I would describe it. Because the person that I am today, I would be really proud of myself if I were to look back from the lens at the Shruti that joined IIT Kharagpur in her first year.
I also hope to create such exciting memories. So, coming to the next question, as we all know, most of the students who come to IIT have been studying dedicatedly. But doing this, so they have lost the touch to with extra activities. So how do you think IIT KGP especially helped you in pursuing your extracurriculars such as debating and yoga?
Hmm. Yeah, so this is a very nice question, actually. Thanks a lot, Shubham, for that question. So, once you start preparing for JEE, it sort of becomes monotonous with the academic life because you're expected to put in a lot of hours and study dedicatedly to clear JEE and reach uh, like an esteemed institution like IIT Kharagpur. But once you do come in, I think the time that you have over here just sort of enables you to pursue a lot of other activities as well. And in fact, it's necessary because otherwise it becomes very monotonous, and at a point it starts taking a toll on your academic performance as well. So once you come to IIT Kharagpur, there are a lot of societies and clubs that you could join. There are research groups, or you could actually explore your research interest by taking up a project. Do several things like participate in, say, inter-IIT, be it like soccer, sports, or tech. You can do whatever you want. Again, like you can pick up a sport, you can play it. It has a plethora of opportunities, and that like gives the necessary break and balance between academics and like extracurriculars, which is very important for the holistic development of an individual.
Okay, thank you, Shruti. So, coming to the next question, you have represented IIT KGP at the Inter IIT Social and Cultural Meet. So, how do you define your experience in this, and how did you manage the pressure in those situations?
Mm. Right, that was a very unique experience, I would say, because we never got to experience Inter-IIT before last year because of COVID and all of that. And my first year, I didn't get the opportunity to. I think it was a very unique experience in the sense that you're not just trying to prove that you are the best at what you do, but you're also working with a team towards a collective goal of ensuring that IIT Kharagpur actually bags gold, like maybe the event or even overall, right? I think that drive that you have when you also do not want to let the other people down and you want to make them proud and you want to make your institute proud, I think that is a very different thing in itself. And I think when you have people around you, again, that are so motivated, that are working towards the same goal, and that would also ensure that you stay motivated as well, and the people that are there to ensure that your problems are being addressed, and whenever you feel low, they're there to like lift your spirit up. Basically, you're a team, right? And being a part of that team was very exciting. And I was a part of the debating team, and we actually like won gold in our event as well. And I think when you love doing something, that then becomes more about the journey. And when you put in all your effort and doing the best that you could, that inevitably leads to like very good results. And that is what happened in my case as well. So just love what you do, and I think the pressure aspect was just like fly away. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these competitions help you to learn in help you to work in the team. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, as the institute's women representative, what are the avenues through which IIT KGP acknowledges female students' problem?
Right. Very thoughtful question, actually. So, IIT Kharagpur, again, is all yours to listen to students' problems, not just through the avenues that the institute offers, but also there are a lot of other avenues in terms of, like, say, student representatives, specific bodies that are there to address your complaints and grievances, etc. I think that is like more of a holistic way to approach the problem. So just briefing about like the different
Mhm.
ways that it does hear out the problems of like female students in specific. Again, there is like a women's students council. Consisting of the women department representatives of each in every department, to whom like the female students of the department can go ahead and raise any issues that they're facing, be it academic, be it personal, be it anything, that can talk about it. And then like we'll work towards like ensuring that there is an optimal solution that's reached at the end of it. So that is again like one avenue. And I think the second avenue, again, that is a part of an institute body, is basically the internal complaints committee or the internal committee, which is the institute's official sexual harassment redressal forum. So if any female of the institute is facing any issue with regards to say harassment or anything of that matter, as unfortunate as it sounds, they can go ahead and they can file a complaint with the IC, and then they'll go ahead and sort of address that complaint. And then the next thing that is there in the institute is the student grievance redressal committee, where again like they can reach out to like say one of the faculties or the deans to solve the problem, especially for women. Professor Koel Chowdhury, who is an associate dean, she again comes under the jurisdiction of like handling the welfare of all the female students on campus. And yeah, these are specifically the avenues and bodies that they can reach out to. But otherwise, I mean, any student representative is always there and all yours to like solve the problems. So that was primarily my role as well as the women representative of the institute last year. Yeah.
So coming to the next question, you have not just participated in competitive yoga and debating, but you have excelled in them. So how did you identify that you have this talent?
Mhm.
Because many students fail to identify their own talent.
Hey, for yoga, I think I'll thank my parents because they put me in yoga. But there's something that made me continue in yoga, and the reason is very similar for me taking up and continuing debating in college as well. For me, essentially, there are two check boxes anything should like satisfy or check out for me to like very passionately pursue it as a hobby. Again, the first thing is very implicit, right? Like, do I enjoy doing it? Do I derive joy out of it? That is the first checkbox. And second is, are my efforts reasonably paying out? By reasonably paying out, I do not mean, oh, if I like put in a lot of effort to say participate in a yoga competition or say participate in a debate tournament, I don't expect to win it, but am I able to perform in a way that my expectations from myself are satisfied to a point where I don't essentially think that all my efforts are going in vain. And I think when you love doing something and when you do derive joy out of it, I think like this inevitably happens, but there are just some things that don't work out for you. And again, it's for you to identify if these check boxes do tick out and if you'd want to take these up further. So I think this is probably how you'd continue doing something and you can probably excel in it.
Yes, absolutely. Enjoying your work is very important. So now coming to the academics, you have backed major internships in companies like KPMG, Deloitte. How hard was it? How did you prepare for them?
Hmm. Right. So I'll just talk about like these internships in the order in which I've done them. So specifically talking about KPMG, this was an opportunity that I did not really expect come my way. I obviously was looking out actively for internship opportunities, but so KPMG was like again like a blessing in disguise. So my friend was actually pursuing an internship with KPMG, and then their team actually required more people, and she told me about this opportunity, and I sent in my resume, and after a while I did hear back from them saying that my resume was a fit for them, and then I'd interviewed with them, and yeah, basically they rolled out the offer to me. But I was a little skeptical about like should I pursue it or not, or should I even like send in my resume, because it was an analytics profile, and I was like, oh, I've never really done this before, like will it be a fit, do I really have to like go ahead and pursue it? But had I not taken up that opportunity, had I not like pursued it, I think my career trajectory would look different. I'm really thankful that actually did happen. So right, KPMG happened, and one thing I realized over there is I really loved working with dynamic teams with very like-minded individuals, and I also loved working in fast-paced environments, which made me start which sort of made me think what are the other opportunities that I might want to pursue, right? And it sort of narrowed down to again like consulting. And I thought, why not try my hand at it? Because this was an analytics intern, although KPMG does have its consulting practice. I tried out for consulting interns in specific, and there was actually an opening in Deloitte's summer internship program. Again, they were taking an application, so I had applied, and I'd applied basically through a referral. I was again networking through LinkedIn with employees of Deloitte, and I was fortunate enough to be referred by like a person in the senior management. And since I got a referral, and I like my resume was like again like pushed through, and yeah, I did get a call back from them. They told me that I was shortlisted for the interviews, and yeah, there were like two rounds of interviews. The first round of interview was like again guesstimates and like basic problem solving. They just asked me a bunch of questions to test my problem solving ability and business acumen. And that was the first interview. The second interview was again with senior management, basically the people in the firm that were like leading that case. So they were specifically looking if I was a fit to a case which was based on like so which was based on the mobility sector, and they tried to test me on basic again problem solving abilities in that, and they tried to sort of ask me an unconventional case and see how I was thinking, and they asked me a few questions which were more of like HR, and they tried to see if there was a cultural fit. And once that sort of worked out, once they did like approve of my candidature, got back a call from HR, and yeah, Deloitte happened. And my that opportunity is something that again was very good for me, and throughout that internship experience, like I think I really enjoyed it, and I would not do it any other way.
I think fortune favors those who do hard work, as happened in your case. You also did an internship in Bain, and also you got their True North scholarship. Can you explain more on that?
Sure, absolutely. As I told you, I'd interned with KPMG and Deloitte earlier, which made me decide I really want to like take a shot at consulting. But because of which, I tried out for like Bain True North scholarship. Again, at that point in time, never really expected that it entailed the internship opportunity, because that was the first time Bain had launched its True North scholarship in India, right? Again, like that scholarship program is continued now. Its second edition was done like last summer. So it's a scholarship program again for like women approaching their pre-final year in like select campuses, and it is a three-step application process. The first step is you submitting your resume and an essay on the topic that they give, and the second step is an aptitude and a personality test, again like basic aptitude, and the personality test is just to see your culture fit. And then the third round is like say a bunch of interviews. So I had two interviews. The first interview was again an interview like a case interview, right? They'd ask me like guesstimate, and it sort of progressed into market entry case, and that was what happened. And then in the second interview, it was more of like a fit round. So somebody from say the senior management did like interact with me and everything. So these were the two rounds, and once this entire process was over, a few weeks later the results rolled out, and they had rolled out like a scholarship with like a grant amount and also an internship opportunity for the summers. Yeah, that's how Bain happened.
Yeah, thank you for your insights, Shruti. So, how did you decide that you want to go into consulting sector? Like, was it decided in the first year itself? And does your department matter in going into consulting?
Right, I'll answer your second question first. So I don't think your department necessarily matters if you want to pursue a career in consulting. Then moving on to answer the first part of your question, like how did I choose consulting? Right. Also, no, from my first year, I did not decide I want to do consulting, because again, in my first year, I didn't even know something called consulting existed, right? I was just like very open, looking for opportunities, honestly. And there was one thing that I was inclining towards though in my first year. I wanted to pursue some role that involved a lot of teamwork and collaboration, and it required some sort of like leadership traits, and it wanted you to be a very good communicator. So I wanted to play to my strengths, of course. So I figured out like consulting would be a great fit. And although I had at the back of my mind, I did not like, actively only try to pursue that. I was open to exploring a lot of things. My first internship was actually a product management internship in a startup called Beepcard. And once I really enjoyed that role, again, like I was keen on like taking up more opportunities. And again, as I told you earlier, right? KPMG was an opportunity that came my way, and then like I wanted to explore more, and then I took up Deloitte. And I think my Deloitte internship was again in the consulting practice of Deloitte. That is something that gave me a lot of clarity as to what I wanted to pursue. So I knew that I would definitely want to like explore more of consulting and like see a future in that. So again, like the experience in itself was wonderful to me. My mentor, fortunately, was one of the best people I've ever worked with. He was like always guiding me on like the best ways to go ahead and like get a piece of work done, or like how life in consulting is in general, and like a lot of advice on like how then corporate would be a good fit for me, or like how I can decide if I would want to pursue this field or not. So a lot of insights from him and guidance from him sort of made me realize that this is something that I want to pursue right now immediately, which is what made me try out for
Mhm.
Bain with all my heart. And again, like this summer with Bain, I again like had like very good experience where I work with like-minded people who are working in like a high-pressure, fast-paced environment, and we were working out the client office. And then I saw like the different types of things that happened over there, especially since we were like directly in touch with the client. I felt like again the things that I wanted to sort of experience, and the way I wanted to play like with my strengths and like play accordingly.
Mhm.
I think all of that materialized in my internship, and that worked in my favor. And after having had that experience, I think like I made the right choice for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Surely IIT KGP does help you find the people having same interests. Yeah.
absolutely.
So, what are your plans for the future? If you did not end up in consulting, which career path you would have chosen?
Okay, what are my plans for the future? Again, like future is very uncertain. Let's see what happens. But to answer the second part of your question, sure, there might have been like a lot of things that I would want to do if I did not like end up taking the things that I did, right? So if I do not like pursue consulting, or like if I did not do that earlier, another thing that I see myself very possibly doing is starting up myself, or working very closely with the CX office in a startup. So I think those are the roles I might be looking for. But I think I would have definitely started up in college then, specifically something related to hydroponics, either hydroponics or vertical farming. So I would have looked into these domains, and I would have specifically wanted to do something in that, because that's something that I've been interested in for a very long time, and I do think like there is a strong future for it. And yeah, that is about it. I would have definitely started up.
Yeah. So, last but very important question. What advice would you give to your juniors who aspire to excel in academics and non-academics?
Okay. I think the most important advice, and like I think the most practical advice that I would give to my juniors, is that do not let go of that opportunity, right? Because
Yeah.
as I told, like IIT KGB presents you with a lot of opportunities and avenue for you to like showcase your talent, and then pursue your interests and things of that nature. I think shying away from opportunities might be the biggest mistake that one could be doing, because again, like sure, you have opportunity knock you door, but you don't have that happen every single day, and each opportunity that comes your way is different, and each opportunity is sort of a pathway for a different opportunity. So never let go of opportunities, even if you're scared, even if you feel like you're not ready. Just go ahead and grab it. It's not just in terms of internships, but even for first years or second years, or like whoever, if you feel like you want to join that club or join that society, go ahead and do that. Explore if you like it, see what you want to do. If you feel like you want to pursue a passion or a hobby, say for example, if you want to learn how to play the piano, find ways to do it in like the schedule that you have, like sort of fit it in your schedule. like somehow find a way to like pursue it, see what you can do about it. If you want to play a guitar, find somebody that knows how to play guitar, ask them to teach you, learn how to play it, do whatever you want to do. Never shy away from doing things that you would want to pursue or remotely dream of doing.
Okay, I will keep that in mind and grab every opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, Shruti, for your valuable time. And I hope these insights will help everybody and aspire them to be as good as you. Thank you.
Thanks, all. I hope this is of some help to people that are watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.